What's up, YouTube? It's Lights Night back again. I just wanted to make a quick video about the Dragunity Legion Structure Deck and its contents and combos and stuff like that. So let's get started. Obviously, as you can see here, it comes with 40 cards and it's got the paper mat and stuff. Let me just grab it. You know, your typical guide and the mat in the back. And let's get started with the deck list. Dragunity Arma Leviathan, Dragunity Arma Mistletoe, Dragunity Decklist, Dragunity Ducks, Dragunity Legionnaire, Dragunity Tribus, Dragunity Darkspear, Dragunity Militum, Dragunity Primus Pilus, Dragunity Brandistock, Dragunity Javelin, Mist Valley Falcon, Hunter Owl, Garuda the Wind Spirit, Flying Kamakiri number 1, Spear Dragon, Twin-Headed Behemoth, Armed Dragon level 3, Armed Dragon level 5, and 2 Masked Dragons, and that's it for the monsters. And for the spells, Dragon Ravine, Dragon Mastery, United We Stand, Mage Power, Dragon's Gunfire, Stamping Destruction, Creature Swap, Monster Reincarnation, Foolish Burial, Card Destruction, and that's it for the spells. And for the traps, we have Windstorm of Ataqua, Relieve Monster, Legacy of Yatagarasu, Final Attack Orders, Mirror Force, Dragon's Rage, Bottomless Trap Hole, Spiritual Wind Art Miyabi, and lastly, Icarus Attack. Okay, I just wanted to mention that you have 2 Masked Dragons in here, and its effect reads, when this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 Dragon-type monster with 1500 or less attack from your deck. Now, you can target your other Masked Dragon, or any of the cards displayed here. We've got Decklist, Darkspear, Brandistock, Javelin, Twin-Headed Behemoth, and Armed Dragon level 3. And aside from that, there's a couple of cards that are a little out of place, I feel, but I mean, they're all wins. They work together a little bit, have a little bit of synergy with the deck. Mist Valley Falcon, this card cannot declare an attack unless you return 1 card you control to the hand. This card helps recycle your equipped Dragunities. You can send one of your Dragunities that is equipped to one of your cards in the spell and trap card zone straight back to your hand and obviously attack then. This thing is a 4-star, 2000 attack beater. So, I mean, that works pretty well with the deck. And then you've got Hunter Owl, 4-star, 1000 attack. This card gains 500 attack for each face-up wind monster you control, which, you know, is obviously a little bit of a boost, is a helpful effect to have. But while you control another face-up wind monster, your opponent cannot select this card as an attack target. So, I mean, as long as you have 2 wind monsters on your field, you know, this guy and one other card, they can't attack him, so that's kind of helpful as well. Flying Kamakiri number 1, 4-star, 1400 attack. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 wind monster with 1500 or less attack from your deck and face-up attack position. Now we're talking this card, and geez, there's so many of them. They're all over the place. So this pretty much works with many of the cards in the deck as well. Then we have Garuda the Wind Spirit. This card cannot be normal summoned or set. This card can only be special summoned by removing from play 1 wind monster in your graveyard. During your opponent's end phase, you can select 1 face-up monster your opponent controls and change its battle position. Now this card, I mean, it works really well with the deck in terms of you can normal summon, then remove something and special summon, and especially if what you normal summoned was, say, Dragunity Javelin, you can synchro and you have instant 6-star right there, and so on and so forth with that. Next we have Spear Dragon, 4-star, 1900 beater. During the battle between this attacking card and a defense position monster whose defense is lower than the attack of this card, inflict the difference as battle damage to your opponent. If this card attacks, it is changed to defense position at the end of the damage step. So it pierces, but it can only attack once, and then you'll have to switch it back next turn, provided that it even survived to begin with. So it's not the greatest, but it still works fairly well with the deck. And in terms of some of the Dragunity stuff that you can do, we've got Tribus. When you normal summon Tribus, or special summon Tribus, you can send 1 3 or lower Dragon-type monster from your deck to the graveyard. Now, let's just say you happen to send Darkspear to your graveyard. Later, when you summon Legionnaire or even Ducks, because they both have a pretty similar effect, you can select one level 3 or lower Dragon-type Dragunity monster in your graveyard and equip it to this card. So, you know what I mean? It works really well with the other cards as long as you summon Tribus first and so on. And Dragunity Dux is a little bit better than Legionnaire in the sense that it has a secondary effect that it gains 200 attack for each face-up Dragunity card you control. So, I mean, that helps as well. And then, of course, you have the whole Armed Dragon set. You've got level 3 and level 5 in the deck. You don't have level 7, but if this thing happens to survive to your next standby phase, you can special summon Armed Dragon level 5 from your deck by tributing this card. And Armed Dragon level 5 reads, you can send one monster from your hand to the graveyard to select one face-up monster your opponent controls with attack less than or equal to the attack of the sent monster, and destroy the selected monster. During the end phase of the turn this card destroys a monster by battle, you can send this face-up card from your field to the graveyard to special summon one Armed Dragon level 7 from your hand or deck. So obviously the second effect doesn't matter in this build unless you add in a level 7, but the initial effect is fairly good if you discard something that you want to go to the graveyard and use later with your other Dragunities, like I said before. Militum, 4-star, 1700, it's decent. You know, it'll clash with Tengu or whatever you're up against, but I doubt you'd be facing Tengu planets and so forth with this deck straight out of the box. But once per turn, you can select one Dragunity card in your spell and trap card zone and special summon it. So now anything that you have back and equipped, for instance, let me set this back up again. You've got Dark Spear equipped to Legionnaire. You can special summon the Dark Spear and, you know, Synchro, whatever, you know, if you happen to get all those onto the field to begin with. Level 5-star Primus Pilus, 2200 attack, so fairly good. When this card is normal summoned or special summoned, you can select one face-up Windbeaks type Dragunity monster you control. Equip it with one level 3 or lower Dragon type Dragunity monster from your deck. So, once again, it's all about equipping your cards with your other lower level Dragunity cards. Next we have Armor Leviathan. It is an 8-star 2600 attack monster. You can special summon this card from your hand or graveyard by removing from play one face-up monster you control equipped with a Dragunity card. So for instance, you've got, let's say you do Tribus and you send a, where'd it go? You send a Dark Spear to the graveyard. Later on in the duel, you've got Legionnaire, special summon and equip the Dark Spear, and then you can instantly just special summon this card and banish them or remove them from play. And his second effect reads, when this card is normal or special summoned, you can select one Dragon type monster in your graveyard except Armor Leviathan and equip it to this card. When this card is sent to the graveyard by your opponent's card effect, you can select one of the monsters that were equipped to this card when it was sent to the graveyard and special summon the monster from the graveyard. So I mean, it kind of helps for when it gets destroyed. You've got something to back you up. Next we have a 6-star Dragunity Arma Mistletoe, 2100 attack. You can special summon this card from your hand by sending one face-up Dragunity monster you control to the graveyard. So, I don't know, at first when I read this I was like, that's pretty pointless because you might as well just tribute summon it anyway, but I suppose its second effect reads, when this card is normal or special summoned from the hand, you can select one Dragon-type Dragunity monster in your graveyard and equip it to the card. So, you can still normal summon aside from this, even though you're pretty much tributing anyway, but hey. And in terms of some of the other cards that come with the deck, obviously you have Foolish Burial that'll help you ditch something to the graveyard to be able to use with your Dragunity Legionnaire or Dragunity Dux. Reincarnation to grab stuff back. Creature Swap is just an annoyingly mean card to your opponent. Switch monsters with them. Stamping Destruction. Activate only if you control a face-up Dragon-type monster. Select one spell or trap card in the field, destroy it, and inflict 500 damage to the controller. So it's kind of like a bonus MST for this deck. Dragon's Gunfire. Activate only if you control a face-up Dragon-type monster. Activate one of these effects. Inflict 800 damage to your opponent, or select one face-up monster with 800 or less defense and destroy it. So pretty much a mini like Ukazi with a secondary effect. If your opponent has a monster with less than 800 defense, you get a free Smashing Ground, I suppose. Mage Power. The equipped monster gains 500 attack and defense for each spell and trap card you control. And I suppose they put this in there because of all the Dragunities equipped that you have, I suppose. United We Stand. The equipped monster gains 800 attack and defense for each face-up monster you control. And I'm not sure on the ruling, but I'm guessing that equipped Dragunity cards that are face-up are still considered monster cards, even though they're equipped and technically in your spell and trap card zone. So I'm guessing that is really beneficial. Dragon Mastery. Each monster you control that is equipped with a Dragunity monster gains 500 attack. Once per turn, you can select one face-up monster you control and equip it with one Dragon-type Dragunity monster from your hand. So it just really helps to start equipping some stuff to your cards. Dragon Ravine. Once per turn, during your main phase, you can discard one card to activate one of these effects. Add one level 4 or lower Dragunity monster from your deck to your hand, or send one Dragon-type monster from your deck to the graveyard. So once again, either adding more material to your hand, or sending it to the graveyard for future use. And now traps. The obviously amazing Icarus attack. Tribute one Wing Beast type monster to select 2 cards on the field and destroy them. So, you know, if your opponent goes to attack or whatever, destroy your monster, you know, you've got Icarus attack. Spiritual Wind Art Miyabi. Tribute one wind monster to select one card your opponent controls. Place that card in the bottom of the deck. I guess that's just to get rid of some annoying stuff. It's kind of like a worse Icarus attack, but hey. One Bottomless. This is obvious, but activate only when your opponent summons a monster with a 1500 or more attack. Destroy it and remove from play that monster. Dragon's Rage. During battle between an attacking Dragon-type monster you control and a defense position monster whose defense is lower than the attack of the attacking monster, inflict the difference as battle damage to your opponent. So essentially, you know, it adds piercing to all of your cards. Mirror Force, once again obvious, but activate only when an opponent's monster declares an attack. Destroy all attack position monsters your opponent controls. Final attack orders. All face-up monsters in the field are changed to attack position and their battle positions cannot be changed. I don't know why they put that in there. Maybe for synergy with Spear Dragon and stuff like that, but I haven't played around with it enough to realize why they did that. Legacy of Yatagarasu. This is essentially a Jar of Greed, but with a secondary effect. So it reads, activate one of these effects, draw a card, or activate if your opponent controls a face-up spirit monster, draw 2 cards. Which is probably not going to happen, so you're probably going to draw 1 card anyway. Relieve Monster. Activate only when an opponent's monster declares an attack. Select one monster you control and return to the hand. Then special summon one level 4 monster from your hand. I'm trying to think of why this is good. Maybe, once again, to get out a higher attack. For instance, Spear Dragon, 1900 beater, so forth. Yeah, that's all I can think of for that. And lastly, Windstorm of Atakwa. Change the battle positions of all face-up monsters your opponent controls. I guess that's just to mess around with your opponent. And, you know, that's kind of similar to Final Attack Orders. So, thanks for watching. And, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you do pick up the deck, it doesn't come with sleeves, obviously. Sorry if I tricked anybody by sleeving the cards. And, it does come with the mat. I'm not going to open it, but that's what it looks like right there. And of course, 3 holo cards. You have 1 ultra rare, 2 super rares, and everything else is common. But the deck is pretty nice, and it comes with some staples that even if the deck is not to your liking, the staples are really helpful too, just to add to your collection. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.